When Schubert gets to writing his last six sonatas, something happens in his writing for piano. And the last six sonatas are really the ones that he himself championed, as if all the ones before, like 15 of them, just didn't count. All of a sudden, you have these pieces for piano that are really like symphonies for the piano. They're not just piano sonatas. The artistic ambition behind them is immense. I mean, you have these pieces that are 35 minutes long, sometimes 40 minutes long. In the scope that they're trying to cover, they are really just like symphonies, and yet they have the intimacy of a solo piano piece that was really intended for the salon. For me personally, these six big, chunky sonatas are like six thick novels, rich with insights about the human condition. I think my first encounter with the big Schubert sonatas was when I was 12 at a concert where the A minor sonata was played. And I remember to this day, actually, how I was completely awestruck. I thought, geez, I didn't realize music could have such power. When playing these sonatas, I do get a sense of communing with the audience, because I think the fact that they're so big, it's like they have this enveloping quality to them. I feel that audiences get into their groove after a couple minutes. And then because Schubert's music works that way, because he makes time feel like it's standing still and yet the world keeps turning, you have this seeming contradiction. And I think you get into that state of mind in these pieces, which is really quite magical. And I do feel that, playing them in concert, there's something in the atmosphere that becomes very, very special. He's always compared to Beethoven. He was during his lifetime already. And I think while Beethoven is about ideals and about what the world should be, I think Schubert is about what the world is. The G major sonata, that is the third one of the last six, is extremely philosophical. And you can sense a look at the world, a look at what this all means, mostly just through asking questions. Schubert is mostly about doubting things and not so much about declaring things. And I think nothing shows that more than just his opening chord. The sonata is in G major, but instead of just having a simple G major chord with a G on top, he has a B, which makes it a lot more open. And he never really, really closes it. So he just always goes back to it. It never really resolves it. And when you think he's going to resolve it, you think he's gonna do this. He leaves it open. He doesn't really pretend to have answers, but he's all about asking questions and observing. And that's what really this piece is all about. And this humble beginning is just the beginning of a massive canvas of like 35 minutes. I feel an extreme sense of reward by sharing those pieces with audiences, because a lot of these sonatas are not played that often. And I feel, more often than not, that a Schubert sonata, especially one of the last ones, is an event.